Hello, everyone. Good evening. Once again, wish you a fantastic Sunday one more time. So this month, ये हम लोग का second live talk session है. I hope till now the month has been very fantastic for all of you as far as your career is concerned. हमारा discussion पूरा career को लेके है. So regarding the month also, when I'll be wishing you a very good career oriented month, right, which has been very good for your career. So दोस्तों, सबसे पहले मैं अपना इंट्रोडक्शन सबसे पहले देना चाहता हूं हम आप सबको. सम पीपल आर ऑलरेडी अवेयर ऑफ, and for people who are joining for the first time, I'm an author and ICF certified life and executive coach. I love to work with young professionals, helping them to grow in the career. So that's my motto, and this is a very small effort from my side. With whatever things you're already doing, I know that you're already doing multiple things to take you closer to your career goal. आपका जो भी goal है अपने life में, in terms of your professional goal or your career goal, wherever you want to go, I'm sure you are doing hundreds of things, right? उस hundreds of things that whatever you are doing, उसमें एक चीज, एक effort मेरे तरफ से आपके नाम, so that it helps you grow quickly in whatever you are trying to achieve in your career. So that's the effort with which I come here. Try to come every Sunday live at 10 p.m. Not that every Sunday I could able to come. Sometimes कुछ अलग सा commitment आ जाते हैं तो मैं नहीं आ पाता हूँ. Otherwise I try to come on every Sunday. So as usual, मैं आपको वही request करूँगा कि during the course of the session, in case you have any comment, आपका कुछ share करने का mood हो, अच्छा लगता है आप जब कुछ share करते हो अपने, मतलब कुछ experiences जब comment में डाल के share करते हो, it really looks great to read those comments. So I will encourage you to come ahead and then put those comments in the comment section, and we'll be sharing those comments here live. So दोस्तों, आज का टॉपिक शुरू करने से पहले मैं आप लोगों को कुछ सवाल पूछना चाहता हूं. वो सवाल ऐसे हैं जो आपको टॉपिक के नजदीक लेके आएगा, राइट? जो भी आप हमारा टॉपिक है, दिस विल ब्रिंग यू closer to the topic. So what is the question that I do have for you is this today: do you feel that it is important to work on developing your leadership skill? क्या आपको लगता है कि आपने लीडरशिप स्किल को डेवलप करना जरूरी है, या वो अपने आप डेवलप हो जाता है? क्या आपको कुछ एफर्ट डालने का जरूरत होता है, या आपका लीडरशिप स्किल बचपन से बाई बॉर्न यू हैव दोज स्किल्स, और उस स्किल को डेवलप करने का कोई जरूरत नहीं, वो आप में इनबॉर्न है? क्या लगता है आपको? यू कैन पुट इट ऑन द कमेंट सेक्शन एंड लेट मी नो. And the second question that I do have is, how many of you would like to lead a team? The question, in other words, would you like to be a leader? Now, लोग बोलेंगे हाँ लीडर तो बनना चाहते हैं, हम भी टीम को लीड करना चाहते हैं. But before you say yes or no to that question, मैं आपको ये पूछना चाहूँगा that as per your opinion, what do you think? Who is a leader? Who is a leader? This is a very interesting question because ये इसका बहुत सारे definitions हैं, बहुत सारे definitions हैं. Different people have got different meaning, different connotations, different understanding of this particular term. So as per your understanding, what is the definition of a leader? Let me know, put it in the comment section and we can discuss on that. I will be sharing what do I think as the definition of leader. मैं सबसे पहले ये clarity आपको देना चाहता हूँ from my side. Whatever you think that may be different from whatever definition I'm giving here, it's okay. All of us are entitled to have our sweet own definitions of things, right? So the way I do have my own definition of leadership, you may have your own definition of leadership in your own way. So let me put here what I think is the definition of leader as per my understanding of this particular subject. So This is what I think is the definition of a leader. As per me, a leader is a catalyst for growth and development, creating a collaborative and supportive environment where individuals can thrive or individuals can grow. एक लीडर का जिम्मेदारी ये होता है कि आप ऐसा एनवायरनमेंट क्रिएट करो जहां पे लोग ग्रो कर पाए, जहां पे आपके टीम मेंबर्स, आपके आपके साथ जो लोग काम करते हैं वो लोग डेवलप और ग्रो कर पाए. सो यू हैव टू एक्ट एज अ कैटलिस्ट. कैटलिस्ट का मतलब आपको मालूम होगा, राइट? कोई एक केमिकल रिएक्शन जब होता है, रिएक्शन ठीक तरह से होने के लिए हम लोग दूसरा केमिकल ऐड करते हैं, उसको हम लोग कैटलिस्ट बोलते हैं. सिमिलरली, somebody is already trying on his or her growth and development. As a leader, you create an environment, a better environment for that person so that that person can grow. Yeah. So that's what the definition of leader. I love this particular definition. So let me know, what do you think? What is your definition of leadership? Um, so with that understanding, we would go ahead and you know start the session. हमारा जो आज का सेशन है, आज हम लोग वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट 5 tips. I'm going to share 5 tips which will help you grow your leadership potential. आप सब में एक लीडर बनने का हिडन पोटेंशियल है, हिडन. So if you work on these 5 tips that I'm going to share today, you will be able to unleash that potential to be a leader. And by becoming a leader, आप ऐसा बॉस बनने वाले नहीं हो जो ऑर्डर देंगे. No, I don't mean to say that that's how a leader should act. No, the definition I have already given. You should be able to help others to grow. And when you help others to grow, the organization grows. And that's your role. That's the value that you add to the organization as a leader, right? You help individuals to grow. And when individual grows, the organization grows. And obviously, जब organization grow करते हैं, उसके साथ साथ you are a part of the organization, you also grow. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप एक ही जगह में बैठ जाते हो, right? और आपके सामने सब लोग grow होकर ऊपर हो जाते हैं, right? You grow obviously because you are helping the organization to grow. आपका ग्रोथ हमेशा आपके वैल्यू एडिशन के साथ रिलेटेड होता है, नॉट बाय योर नंबर ऑफ सर्टिफिकेशंस, नंबर ऑफ डिग्रीज, ईयर्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस. वो सब चीज अच्छे हैं, बट वो आपको एक लेवल के बाद ऊपर लेके नहीं जा सकते हैं. So the best thing that can help you to grow in the organization is the value that you add to the organization, to its customers, to its stakeholders, shareholders, employees, so on and so forth, right? इस तरह से आप करते हो. So अगर आप वैसा बनना चाहते हो, वैसा लीडर, तो ये 5 टिप जो मैं आज आप लोगों के साथ शेयर करना चाहता हूँ, आई एम श्योर this is going to add value to already the things that you're already doing. Okay. So again, one more question before I jump into our first tip is this particular question. थोड़ा सा सोचिएगा इसके बारे में. So the question talks about, have you ever witnessed the impact of strong leadership in your professional journey? And you can share your story in the comment section. आपका जो भी प्रोफेशनल जर्नी रहा, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, in your professional journey, have you ever witnessed the great leaders and their leadership style? अगर आपने ऐसा कुछ विटनेस किया, शेयर कीजिए ना कमेंट सेक्शन में. सीखते हैं थोड़ा बहुत आपसे भी, जानते हैं उस लीडरशिप क्वालिटी के बारे में जो आपको अच्छा लगा हो, राइट? Okay, so with that and with the hope that you'll be writing something in the comment section, I'm anxiously looking at the comment section whether some comments do come there or not. I will go ahead and start with the first tip that I have for you. The first tip talks about this, lead by example. अगर आप लीडर बनना चाहते हो, अगर आपके अंदर के जो लीडरशिप क्वालिटीज हैं उसको अनलिश करना चाहते हो, उसको बाहर निकालना चाहते हो, this has to be the first thing. You need to lead by example. अगर आप किसी को कुछ बोलते हो कि आपको ऐसा करना चाहिए, उससे पहले आपको खुद करके दिखाना पड़ेगा. दैट्स व्हाट मीन्स लीडिंग बाय एग्जाम्पल. इसमें किस तरह से हम लोग करते हैं, मैं इसको 3 हिस्सों में बांटना चाहता हूं इस पर्टिकुलर टिप को, विच इज टॉकिंग अबाउट लीडिंग बाय एग्जाम्पल. And the first thing will be, take ownership of your responsibilities and demonstrate a strong work ethic. आप खुद ओनरशिप लो जो भी आपके रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज हैं, एंड एक स्ट्रांग वर्क एथिक का डिस्प्ले करो. किस तरह के होते हैं वर्क एथिक्स? वी कैन टेक a few examples. When we talk about work ethics, एक सिंपल सा एग्जांपल ऐसा हो सकता है कि यू नो बी इन ऑफिस ऑन टाइम. सपोज मैं किसी को बोलना चाहता हूँ कि आपको ना हमेशा ऑफिस में ऑन टाइम आना चाहिए, एंड मैं खुद ऑफिस में ऑन टाइम आता नहीं हूँ, देन आई एम नॉट displaying and demonstrating that particular work ethic, right? काम में अगर मैं कुछ कमिटमेंट करता हूं, अगर उस कमिटमेंट को रखता नहीं हूं, and that's not demonstrating the kind of work ethic that I expect others to demonstrate, right? So that's why this part is very important. What is the second part that comes here is display integrity and ethical behavior in all your actions. Integrity बहुत जरूरी होता है, not only for a leader but everyone working in an organization. जो भी आप एक्टिविटी करते हो, जो भी आप काम करते हो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, उसको इंटीग्रिटी मेंटेन, इंटीग्रिटी एंड ऑनेस्टी both are very very, I mean, those are the basic requirements. And in fact, I should not say that should be your skill. That is a basic requirement. So display that integrity as a leader. अगर वहां पे कहीं पे गड़बड़ हो गया भाई साहब, तो फिर you are not going to demonstrate your leadership skill. Okay, Yogesh ji is commenting, a leader develops more leaders. Oh yes, so true, Yogesh ji. Thank you so much for your comment. Yes, a leader is someone who will be responsible for developing other leaders, and then only he is a successful leader. Not because he is having a certain designation, he is sitting on a big chair in a big room, right? Not because of that, because this is the person who is showing example and helping other leaders to grow. He takes the ownership for the failure. Yes, Yogesh ji, you are right. A leader has to take the ownership for the failures. अगर कुछ गलती हो जाता है तो वो तुम्हारा है, और अगर कुछ अच्छा होता है वो मेरा है. वो टेक्निक चलेगा नहीं if you want to be a good leader, right? So very correctly said. Thank you so much for your comment. So that's what comes under ethical behavior, that's what comes under integrity as far as a leader is concerned. The third part here under lead by example is show respect and treat everyone in the organization with fairness. वो biasness मत कीजिए कि कोई आपको अच्छा लगता है और उन्हीं को पूरा मेवा खिला दिया, दूसरों को कुछ नहीं मिला. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, राइट? You should show respect to each and every individual and show fairness as much as possible. कभी कभी unknowingly गलतियां हो जाता है, we are human, I can understand that, but knowingly please maintain fairness and show respect to everyone, right? So that's the first thing that we talked about, is leading by example. Yeah, so Yogesh is saying that leader has to be resourceful. Oh yes, very true. The leader has to know that how to use, how to utilize, how to put the team on the best possible utilization so that they can grow in the organization, they can get opportunities to grow. So the leader has to be resourceful. Thank you so much for that particular comment. The second tip from my side on how do you unleash your leadership potentiality is communicating with clarity. अच्छा, ये ना मतलब ये जरूरी होता है. क्लैरिटी जब हम लोग बोलते हैं, खाली कम्युनिकेशन वेल may not be enough. विथ क्लैरिटी कम्युनिकेशन इज इंपॉर्टेंट. और इसको किस तरह से करते हैं, अगेन मैं इसको 3 स्टेप में बांटना चाहूंगा. द फर्स्ट स्टेप दैट आईड लाइक टू टॉक अबाउट इज प्रैक्टिस एक्टिव लिसनिंग एंड एंश्योर ओपन लाइंस ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन विथ योर टीम. एक्टिव लिसनिंग, हम लोग बहुत टाइम इस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट को भूल जाते हैं. एक्टिव लिसनिंग, ये एक्चुअली अलग सा सब्जेक्ट है ऑल टुगेदर. इट्स अ वेरी डिटेल्ड सब्जेक्ट. अगर आप जानना चाहते हो व्हाट इज एक्टिव लिसनिंग, यू कैन गेट इन टच विथ मी सेपरेटली बिकॉज इट्स अ वेरी वेरी डिटेल्ड सब्जेक्ट. इन सिंपल टर्म्स, एक्टिव लिसनिंग का मतलब होता है लिसन विथ योर कंप्लीट बीइंग. किसी को अगर आप सुन रहे हो, पूरा ध्यान से सुनो. उस ध्यान से सुनने को हम लोग एक्टिव लिसनिंग बोलते हैं, बट उसमें सर्टेन स्टेप्स होते हैं. Yeah. So the leader has to be a visionary. Yeah, yeah, very true. That's one of the very important aspect of being a leader who is contributing to the organization. He or she has to be visionary. सोचना चाहिए उस लीडर को आगे के बारे में, आगे क्या दिखता है. हर एक डिसीजन लेने से पहले he or she should be able to think that how this decision is going to make an impact to the larger organization goals. So that's where we are talking about communication with clarity, practice active listening, and ensure open lines of communication with your team. The lines of communication should be open. What does it mean? Closed communication नहीं होना चाहिए कि आधा अधूरा बोल दिया और बाकी उन लोगों के ऊपर छोड़ दिया, right? Now this is something which requires a lot of practice. कभी कभी हम लोग सोचते हैं चलो वो लोग समझ जाएंगे, इतना सा बोल दिया समझ जाएंगे, but sometimes it becomes also important to check whether that person has really understood what you wanted to let that person understand, right? That is also important. The second part here under communication with clarity is clearly articulate expectations and provide constructive feedback. जो भी expectation you want from your team members, etc., you need to be able to articulate them very clearly. You know, मुझे ना ये एक दो तीन चीजें हो जाना चाहिए अब तक. Let me know what kind of support you want, right? That should be very clear. And once that person has done his or her effort into completing those tasks, try to give a constructive feedback. What is the meaning of a constructive feedback? Again, a detailed subject, बट मैं आपको सिंपल वे में बताना चाहूंगा. जब हम लोग किसी को फीडबैक देते हैं, अरे ये वाला काम अच्छा नहीं हुआ, दैट्स नॉट ए कंस्ट्रक्टिव फीडबैक. द कंस्ट्रक्टिव फीडबैक कैन बी, ये आपने जो काम किया है इसमें ये वाला पोर्शन थोड़ा सा बेटर तरीके से आप कर सकते थे. यहाँ पे आपने जिस तरह से चीजों को एक्सप्लेन किया, मे बी एक बेटर तरीके से आप चीजों को एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं. Maybe the way, the methodology that you have used to find out a solution to this problem, this methodology could have been better. So it has to be very very constructive feedback. आपका feedback सुनने के बाद उस टीम मेंबर को फील होना चाहिए कि मुझे इस एरिया में इंप्रूवमेंट करना पड़ेगा, इंस्टेड ऑफ यू सेइंग दैट स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड, अरे काम अच्छा नहीं किया आपने. नो, दैट्स नॉट द वे यू शुड गिव. So Debashish is saying feedback is important and follow up to check if actions are being taken. Well, so very important. Thank you so much for that particular comment. Feedback is very important. ऐसे ही छोड़ देना, not good. You are not going to showcase yourself as a very very good leader, as a person who can become a very good leader for the organization. So the feedback part is very important, and following up on that, दैट आपने जो भी फीडबैक दिए थे, कंस्ट्रक्टिव फीडबैक दिए थे, उसके ऊपर काम हुआ कि नहीं, राइट? अदरवाइज द पर्सन विल नॉट गेट बेनिफिटेड, एंड एज एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन विल नॉट गेट बेनिफिटेड फ्रॉम दैट एफर्ट. As I said, your role as a leader is to add value to the organization, right? वो add value कैसे करोगे अगर आप ये सारी चीजें नहीं करोगे? Thank you so much, Devashish, for that particular comment. The third thing under communication with clarity is foster an environment where everyone feels comfortable sharing their ideas and concerns. या ये बहुत जरूरी होता है कि आप उस तरह के environment create करो जहां पे people feel okay to share. They don't feel shy. They don't feel afraid of sharing something. कि ये अगर कुछ बोल दिया ना, ये तो मतलब हमेशा डांटता है मुझे, तो इनके सामने मैं कुछ बोलूंगा ही नहीं या बोलूंगी ही नहीं. So that's not a good environment. So you need to foster that environment wherein people feel comfortable sharing certain things. Yeah, so Yogesh is saying very informative for new managers. Yeah, of course, this particular session is more focused on the new managers, rightly so, Yogesh ji, because for the new managers who want to lead a team, who want to grow up in the managerial ladder, they need to develop this particular skill. and with a growth mindset, we always say that things can be developed. That's the mindset of a person who is having a growth mindset, right? And that's what is expected from a leadership person. The third tip that I have, which will help you to unleash your leadership potential, is yes, you need to empower your team. ऐसे ही मतलब दबा के मत रखो अपने टीम को, उनको एम्पावर करो. जब आप एम्पावर करते हो अपने टीम को, वो लोग उभरने का, खुलने का मौका उनको मिलता है. जब उनको खुलने का मौका मिलता है, they will be able to showcase their capability, their skills, their talents. When they showcase their ability, their talents, their skills, they grow, and when they grow, the organization grows, and obviously you also grow as a leader, right? So yeah, Yogesh ji is saying decision making quality is very very important to be developed in a leader. Thank you so much for that comment. Yes. And yeah, so Debashish is saying creating that environment is up to the top leaders. It is okay to be slightly vulnerable if that helps. Oh yes, very very interesting point that you have mentioned, being vulnerable. जब आप उस तरह के एनवायरनमेंट क्रिएट करते हो कि लोगों को खुलने का मौका देते हो, कभी कभी लोग गलत डिसीजन ले लेते हैं और उसका रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लीडर के ऊपर आ जाता है. आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट देवाशीष मींस व्हेन ही सेइंग बीइंग वल्नरेबल, बिकॉज आपके ऊपर उसका रिपरकशंस आ सकते हैं. यस, ही इज सो ट्रू, एंड अनलेस एंड अंटिल यू आर रेडी टू बीइंग वल्नरेबल, द ट्रू लीडरशिप विल नॉट कम आउट. सो इट्स इम्पॉसिबल. अंदर का जो सोना है वो पिघल के नहीं आएगा बाहर मेरे दोस्तों, राइट? सो या, सो डेलीगेट effectively. You need to delegate, but you need to delegate effectively. Thank you so much for that comment. Yogesh ji is saying delegation with authority. Yeah, you need to give the authority, and you need to do it very very effectively. So under empower your team, delegate tasks based on team members strengths and encourage their professional growth. सबका हर चीज में स्ट्रेंथ नहीं रहता. Someone may be very good in project management, someone might be very good in negotiating with clients, someone might be very good in making brands, marketing things, right? So whatever is the strength of your team member, utilize that particular strength and delegate your responsibilities to that person. Delegation का मतलब ये होता है, बहुत सारे चीज होता है. Some of the things that gives a visibility when you delegate your responsibilities is that you trust them, you value them, you respect them for their capability, their skills. उससे ना लोगों को अच्छा लगता है. सोचिए, आपको भी अगर आपके बॉस कोई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी देते हैं कि मिस्टर सो एंड सो, मिस सो एंड सो, फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर एक्टिविटी आई ट्रस्ट ऑन यू एंड आई ट्रस्ट ओनली ऑन यू, आई बिलीव दैट यू विल बी एबल टू डू दैट जॉब. कैसा फील होता है? You feel proud, right? Wouldn't you love to work with that particular person, right? That's what makes you a very good leader, if you can develop that particular quality. The second thing here is to provide support and resources to help them succeed in their roles. उनको ना support आपको देना पड़ेगा, आपको पूछना पड़ेगा कि किस तरह के support चाहिए. Yeah, when we talk about support, sometimes people do expect certain types of support which as a leader may not be available with you. But that's not the point. The approach is the point. कि आपको वो करने का मंशा है कि नहीं, आप वो इच्छा दिखाते हो कि नहीं कि I want to support you, I want to help you. Sometimes only that word is enough. Only वो जो sentence आप बोल देते हो ना, do you need a support, that itself is enough. लोगों को लगता है, आपके टीम मेंबर को लगेगा कि he's there with me, right? That itself is a big thing. So that's something that you can do to empower your team. And the third part here under empowering your team is to recognize and appreciate their efforts and achievements. जब वो लोग कुछ अच्छा करते हैं, थोड़ा सा तो अप्रिशिएट बनता है, थोड़ा सा तो तालियां बनती है, राइट? तो वो तालियां बजाइए, वो अप्रिशिएट कीजिए, लोगों को अच्छा लगेगा. दे विल कम अप मोर with their ideas, with their suggestions to contribute to the organization and to contribute to the growth, right? So dosto, that's the third tip that I had, is empowering your team. Now coming to the fourth tip that I had, is this particular thing which is developing your emotional intelligence. अच्छा, ये emotional intelligence, ये EQ क्या होता है? ये बहुत बड़ा सा सब्जेक्ट है दोस्तों. मैं ना इसके ऊपर एक सेपरेट topic बनाऊंगा only on this particular topic, emotional intelligence. I think in the past we talked about it in small bits, but this is a very heavily loaded subject है, बहुत बहुत भारी सब्जेक्ट है, तो इसके ऊपर हम लोग एक एक्सक्लूसिव टॉपिक इसके ऊपर डिस्कस करेंगे. So Debashish is saying that support has a great importance in several servant leadership. Oh yes, servant leadership. Yes, Debashish ji, you are right. Servant leadership is particular one particular style of leadership, right? कि नौकर बन जाओ. नहीं नहीं नहीं. The meaning doesn't come out directly like that. So servant leadership is you are supposed to help others to grow. So you, as a leader, you are actually serving your team members so that they can grow. So the servant leadership comes from that particular mindset, right? Such a beautiful approach towards leadership. And yeah, so EQ over IQ. So nowadays there's a lot of talk that's happening around EQ, and in fact globally the style of leadership, the way organization wants to develop their employees, organization wants to inculcate their organization culture is majorly built around the topic of EQ. वो जमाना गया जब हम लोग खाली जो सबसे ज्यादा मार्क लाता था एग्जाम में उनको लीडर बनाते थे, वो दिन चले गए, राइट? अभी इट्स अ जमाना ऑफ द EQ or the emotional quotient or the emotional intelligence. So that is very very important. So yeah, sorry, we are on the fourth tip, which is develop your emotional intelligence. किस तरह से कर सकते हो? हम लोग थोड़ी बहुत इसमें डीपली जाते हैं, थोड़ा सा आज डीपली नहीं जाएंगे. Practice empathy and understand different perspectives. Empathy is a required skill. It should be a nature. It's not a skill. It should be a nature of a leader. There are people who show sometimes fake empathy. Please don't do that. And watch yourself whenever that empathy is coming as fake. That doesn't help. And people do realize it. People can read it. People are smart. Don't think that I'm the only person smart. I should not think. You also should not think. The world is smart. And people realize when you're faking it. People can make out. So ensure that your empathy that you're showing towards people, not the sympathy. Don't show sympathy. People don't want sympathy. People want empathy. You should practice it more and more so that it becomes authentic. And try to understand different perspectives. आपका जो नजरिया है चीजों को देखने का, they may be very good, but they may not be the best one. There can be different perspective of looking into things. Respect other people's perspectives also. क्या पता उसी पर्सपेक्टिव में से कभी एक बहुत ही सुनहरा आइडिया मिल जाए जो आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के कोर्स को कंप्लीटली एक डिफरेंट मोड पे लेके जा सकते हैं टुवर्ड्स ग्रोथ, टुवर्ड्स सक्सेस, राइट? इट्स पॉसिबल. द सेकंड पार्ट हियर इज प्लीज मैनेज कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स. Do it effectively by promoting open dialogue and finding a win-win solution. बहुत टाइम मुश्किल होता है. I know it is difficult, but you should try making an effort for a win-win solution. What is the meaning of a win-win solution? It's in mind. It's in mind. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने 100 रुपया दिया, मैंने 100 रुपया दिया, दोनों का 100 रुपया win-win हो गया. No, it is not like that. It's in the mind that I feel that yes, I'm not losing in the game of words, in the transaction of activities, in the situation in which both of people had some sort of conflict, right? Both the person should feel that yes, the way the leader has helped managing the conflict was in a win-win situation for both of us. Sometimes situation ho sakta hai. There can be exceptional situations wherein as a leader you may have to take a very hard call against the expectation of an individual. ये होता है situation, and being human, ये भी आपको face करना पड़ेगा. That is also will make you a very good leader sometimes. Those hard decisions that you make for the overall betterment of the organization, overall betterment of the entire team, right? होता है कभी कभी ऐसा situation. Be ready to face that situation. Provide support and guidance to the team members during challenging times. कभी बहुत डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन आ गया आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, थिंग्स आर वेरी डिफिकल्ट, सपोज योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज गोइंग थ्रू ए चेंज, it can be sort of a digital change that the organization is going through, it can be mergers, acquisitions, those kind of changes that the organization is going through, and everybody is tensed, सब लोग डरे हुए हैं क्या होने वाला है हमारे साथ, वेदर जॉब बचेगा नहीं बचेगा, हम लोग आगे बढ़ेंगे नहीं बढ़ेंगे, क्या मुझे अभी जंप करना चाहिए दूसरे जॉब में, बहुत टेंशन में है उस टाइम में। दोज आर द चैलेंजिंग टाइम्स व्हेन योर टीम रिक्वायर यू द मोस्ट, require the leader the most. Don't shy away from spending time with your team members in those challenging times. That will show your character. That will show you the strength of your character, the person that you are in, right? So that's where it's very important to support your team during those challenging times. The fifth tip for me, the final tip for me, is continuously learn and grow. ये ना मैं हर लीडरशिप डेवलपमेंट हो या आपका कैरियर ग्रोथ के लिए हो, इन मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस यू विल सी दिस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक, दिस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट विल कम एज अ कॉमन पॉइंट, बिकॉज मैं बहुत स्ट्रांगली बिलीव करता हूं कि आपका जो सीखने का नेचर है वो कभी भी बंद नहीं होना चाहिए। सो व्हाट you are 40 years, so what you are 50 years, so what you are 60 years, so what you are 60 plus 65, you're retired, still the learning should continue. The learning makes you human, the learning makes you humble, the learning real makes you realize that there are things in the world that still you don't know. मैनी ए टाइम्स हम लोग सोचते हैं अरे बहुत पढ़ाई कर लिया, बहुत एक्सपीरियंस ले लिया, सब कुछ मालूम है, कुछ नहीं सीखने का जरूरत है अभी। ऐसा नहीं है, कुछ ना कुछ तो अभी भी आपको सीखना बाकी है मेरे दोस्त। तो इसीलिए लर्निंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। इफ यू वांट टू डेवलप एज अ गुड लीडर, if you want to unleash your leadership qualities, ensure that you continuously learn and grow. एंड इसमें मैं अगेन फिर से तीन चीजों में इसको बांटना चाहूंगा। द फर्स्ट पॉइंट दैट आई वुड लाइक टू टॉक अबाउट हियर इज सीक आउट लर्निंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज। कहां पे सीखने का मौका मिल रहा है, सच एज योर सम सॉर्ट ऑफ ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स, इट कैन बी इंटरनल, इट कैन बी एक्सटर्नल, इट कैन बी सम वर्कशॉप, go and attend that workshop to learn something from a learned person, from a more knowledgeable person, or some industry event that's happening. अटेंड कीजिए, जाइए। कभी कभी इस तरह के इवेंट्स फ्री होते हैं, हाँ कभी कभी पैसा लगता है, थोड़ा सा पैसा अगर खर्चा करना हो आपके खुद के ग्रोथ के लिए, थोड़ा कुछ सीखने के लिए, खराब नहीं है, राइट? आई मीन वी समटाइम्स स्पेंड सो मच ऑफ मनी, so some money spent in your own development, in learning something new, that is the best way of spending your money, right? And the second part here is embrace feedback as a chance for growth and improvement. अच्छा, आपको जो वो जो फीडबैक जो मिलते हैं, if you want to become a leader, I'm sure that you are also working with a leader, a manager, etc. He or she sometimes gives you certain feedback. well, hold on, ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि फीडबैक हमेशा लीडर से ही आना चाहिए, फीडबैक हमेशा मैनेजर से ही आना चाहिए। आपके पीयर ग्रुप से भी फीडबैक आ सकते हैं, आपके सबऑर्डिनेट से भी फीडबैक आ सकते हैं। इफ दे आर काइंड एनफ टू गिव यू फीडबैक, ओ यस, आई मीन इट। फीडबैक मिलने के लिए पीपल शुड बी, you should be grateful to people who give you feedback. They should be kind enough to spend their very busy important time to give you a constructive feedback. So if you're getting feedback, then embrace those feedback, accept कीजिए उसको, right? Humbly accept कीजिए, gratefully accept कीजिए, and उसके ऊपर काम कीजिए। वो आपको एक बेहतर इंसान बनाएगा, बेहतर मैनेजर बनाएगा, एंड ऑब्वियसली बेहतर लीडर बनाएगा, राइट? And as a part of this, the third item, yes, is foster a culture of knowledge sharing and encourage team members to expand their skills. So ये to and fro एक cultural environment बनाइए जिसमें आपका जो नॉलेज है आप शेयर करते हो, आपके टीम मेंबर्स के जो नॉलेज है उनको शेयर करने का मौका देते हो, उसमें कल्चर बन जाता है शेयरिंग नॉलेज, एंड दैट हेल्प्स एवरीबॉडी in the team to grow together, right? So that was the fifth and the last tip that I had for all of you, which will help you unleashing your leadership potential. So let me again repeat one by one. The first tip that we talked about is lead by example. The second tip that we talked about is communicate with clarity. The third tip that we talked about is empower your team. The fourth tip that we talked about is develop your emotional intelligence. And the fifth tip that we talked about is continuously learn and grow, my dear friend. राकेश इज सेइंग फीडबैक इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग फॉर इम्प्रूवमेंट. यस, ये बहुत जरूरी होता है आपके पर्सनल लाइफ में, प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में, दोनों जगह. जब लोग आपको कोई फीडबैक देते हैं, सबसे पहले तो थैंक यू बोलिए, उसके बाद उनका फीडबैक को ग्रहण कीजिए. ग्रहण करने के बाद उसके ऊपर काम कीजिए. सोचिए कि इस फीडबैक में से कौन सा चीज है जो एक्चुअल फीडबैक है. कभी कभी लोग ऐसे फीडबैक भी दे जाते हैं जो शायद उतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं होता है. when you receive something, sometimes you receive among the pearls थोड़ा सा डस्ट भी कभी कभी मिलता है. हम्बली एक्सेप्ट कीजिए डस्ट को भी, एंड उसमें जो अच्छी चीज है उसको उसके ऊपर काम कीजिए. देखिए कि उससे आप अगर कुछ बेहतरीन चीजें बना सकते हो कि नहीं. So friends, out of these 5 tips that we discussed today, I would love to know that which particular tip you resonate, that tip resonates with you the most, और आपको सबसे अच्छा लगा कौन सा पर्टिकुलर टिप, मेरे को कमेंट सेक्शन में डालिए. उसके साथ ना मेरे को ये एक फायर वाला इमोजी भी चाहिए. राइट, फायर दर्शाता है कि यू आर एक्साइटेड to know about that particular aspect which is going to unleash your leadership qualities, and ये आपके साथ मेल जूल खाता है, resonate होता है आपके साथ. So please put it in the comment section. You can do it now or you can do it later. एंड वो फायर वाला इमोजी डालिए. फायर देखने में एक बर्न होता है, राइट, इट बर्न्स द फायर व्हेन यू see that particular statement. And as always, once you start working on all these things, go ahead and win the game. Become a valuable leader for an organization. Contribute to the growth of the organization. Contribute in the growth of other people in the organization, and thereby leave your legacy as a great leader. Thank you so much. So if you like this particular talk, if you liked this particular topic related to leadership development, go ahead and share with your friends, family members. Share this video with other people so that others can also know about it. Thank you so much for your lovely presence. I'm grateful for your presence here. आपको बहुत सारा काम था, वो सब काम छोड़ के थोड़े टाइम के लिए आप अगर यहाँ पे आए, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I will see you once again in our next topic. Whenever I'm coming, I will give you a pre-alert before I come live. Thank you so much for your presence. Have a great rest of the evening of Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.